What's up, and welcome back for another episode of Glad You Asked. I am New York City-based photographer John Lopez.
Whoa. He's not just a photographer. He actually, and this is very important to know if you're walking the streets of New York City, he makes sure people walk on the correct side of the sidewalk. Because sometimes they get a little, non-New York, and they're walking in the middle of the sidewalk, walking their dog with a long leash. And John Lopez has to make sure they understand this is New York. We don't do those things. Get on the correct side of the sidewalk. Just so you know. I'm Jeff Henderson, footwear designer.
Footwear designer is just the beginning of what Jeff Henderson is all about. Jeff is an extraordinary basketball coach of all age groups. All age groups. You got a kid, 3 years old, 30 years old. Jeff will coach that kid to success.
Get him in line. I think we went undefeated one summer. Oh no, we lost the game. But that's another thing. We'll talk to Teddy first thing later. Whoa!
Uh-oh.
Dalton House.
Name dropping.
John, what are we going to be going over today on Glad You Asked?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Jeff. Today I'm going to talk about cleaning house. Organization, sort of the boring stuff people don't necessarily like to do.
You're very good at this. If people see his older episodes, he has like 4,000 folders, each equally laid out, orchestrated in a way that I could follow. Unlike me. Don't look at my folders.
And it helps you make sense, So you got to make sense of your images. If you're taking thousands, keep in mind, we're looking at a photo from Rio here. This is Kyle Lowry down on the floor for a loose ball.
That's not how basketball is usually played, just so we're sure here. Maybe they do things different in Brazil, but that's not usually how it's played.
Hey, I wonder how the last on this shoe right here.
Oh, I think the real part is the sole has a little speckle with the outsole. Yeah. There's probably an episode that discusses that. Have you been doing your homework, people?
You need to talk about this at some point. You need to tell us about what the hell is going on.
Maybe we'll have an episode on that. Maybe you have a...
So, organization, it matters, it's important. While I was in Rio for one game, this is the championship game, the gold medal game between Serbia and USA, I took at least 5,000 images.
5,000 images?
How am I supposed
How do you save that on your phone, John Lopez?
Exactly. In previous episodes, the answer is you don't.
Your phone is amazing. That's an iPhone 38.
No, it's the iPo. It's the iPo 2200. As in the year. No, so it's really important. We went over culling images and kind of going through and making your selects, and that's obviously very important for the client. But what do you do with the rest of those images? How do you make sense of them? How do you keep them in an orderly fashion? So the first thing I do, my go-to program of choice is Photo Mechanic. So open up Photo Mechanic. You'll see some of my images here. This is Mohamed Bamba doing his thing for West Ham.
Name drop.
Harlem God is my man Brandon Randolph. And this is Hamidou Diallo, who skipped the second half of his postgraduate year at Putnam Science and is now a student at Kentucky.
Small school, maybe you've heard of.
So that's just one of them. Here I'm going to show you some images from one of my recent shoots at the Basketball Hall of Fame where I photographed some of the top high school players in the country.
Basketball Hall of Fame, people. This is where John Lopez hangs out on the weekend.
They did allow me to take over the space and make it my own, which was pretty cool. So here I have 28 images from La Lumiere High School. And now if all I had was these 28, life would be really easy. But I know I photographed about 20 different teams doing portrait work and action shots. So I have thousands of images from this shoot as well. And I need to be able to search through these.
You said thousands?
Thousands.
You were there how many days? Like 20 days, 30 days,
nope,
60 days?
Nope, I was there for 3.5 days.
3.5. Did you eat dinner during this? Did you have lunch?
Hey, ask my good friend Alex Woodhouse if we ate.
No hype, please.
That's right, at No Hype, please. Shout out to him. So anyway, I have all these images. I'm going to give you one example of how I might handle one school set of images to make them searchable. So let's give you an example. Wouldn't it be nice if I could search for these players by name? Let's see here. My friend Tiger Campbell's on this team. Can I type in Tiger? Oh, I type in Tiger, nothing happens.
Oh, he's not there.
But it would be nice if I could just type in his name and find all the photos that include Tiger, right?
Some face recognition tool? What's going on?
Ooh, that would be
some
cool.
Technology.
That would be cool.
Watch him say, we ain't got that. See, now I'm just episode over, done. We ain't got the technology.
All right, so right now I'm just selecting images that have Tiger in them. And I'm going to go into their metadata. So this is the IPTC stationary pad. Do not
It's
ask
a test. What does
IPTC stands
IPT?
for.
Intellectual, prepared.
Intellectual, proprietary, tertiary.
Somebody's gonna sign up on the internet and tell us what that is, and then
they're
email
gonna
everybody
roast me
else.
on that,
Yes,
and I get
email
it.
everybody
it's
else.
okay. I'm accustomed to
it's
that.
probably gonna be a former student. That's probably the funny part.
I just know that it has to do with the metadata. Metadata is literally embedded directly into all of these photographs. So even after these photographs might be shared or perhaps borrowed from someone's website. And
borrowed, is that with air quotes, John? Borrowed? Does that mean stolen, lifted, taken without permission?
You know what, Jeff? I'm glad you asked. Theft online for images has been a major topic in the industry, and there are many ways to try to combat that. There's software you can buy that embeds these secret kind of watermarks within the images so that you can easily identify it later. I haven't necessarily taken the time to do that, but what I do is make sure that I embed metadata in all of my images. So here you can see I have a simple format where the photo was taken, and when, and maybe a small note about it. And hey, note to user, mandatory copyright. Give me my photo cred if you use this picture. I appreciate it.
Now that photo, that metadata shows up no matter where someone pulls. So if I Google and show up and get Tiger and pull it up, and then I have the photo, I'm like, oh, I'm getting away scot-free. In that image is his metadata.
That's right. So it has my name.
So you might get an email from the local authorities saying, I think you have some photos from John Lopez.
Our listeners and viewers wouldn't do that, right?
Because they're
going to see this and they're going to say, oh, John at JohnLopezPhotography.com, I'm going to shoot him an email and license this photo because that's the way things are done.
And they're probably going to be good police force. Like, yo, John, I saw your picture over at such.com.
Exactly.
Did you do that? Did you get paid for that? Did you license that out? Let us know.
Exactly. Much appreciated. So I'm going to come in here. Anything I type in any field is embedded in the entire collection of those particular images. So I can go into keywords, for example, and I can type in Tiger's name. Tiger Campbell. Okay. Now I'm going to say apply stationary to selected. If you remember, I selected 7 images. So it's going to apply that. And before we're done, I'm actually going to get a couple more in here just to give you the example. This is my friend Jordan Poole, also from Chicago. In this program, I'm pressing Command I. This can also be done in programs like Adobe Bridge, Adobe Photoshop Lightroom.
Are they all named the same thing? IPTC stationary pad?
They might be called something different in the different ones, but it all has to do with either IPTC or metadata.
Okay.
Or keywords even. You can add keywords directly, and it all works kind of the same way.
That works on even if you do things in the cloud, like in, say, Flickr.
Exactly. Same exact thing. But this is so you can get it done before you upload it to the likes of
Right. When you have professional programs like John Lopez.
When you have to do your work up front and not have to go back and do this. Because what I'm doing here is I'm able to apply this to several images all at once. If you go into Flickr and some of these other programs, it's a little bit more difficult to do it all at once. So here, I just typed in Jordan Poole. That's this player's name. I'm going to say again, apply stationary to selected. And let's see. I'll do one more. My friend Brian Bowen over here. I'll select any image that features Brian. He's in all the team pics. Boom. I'm going to press Command I to get into my IPTC. And I'm going to type in Brian.
I'm going to look up what that means while you're doing it so we look intelligent.
Now that is genius.
Actually, we're going to have our producer. Producer, are you here?
That's right.
Me right now.
All right, so as I continue along now I've gone in and I've typed in some stuff, some keywords into some particular images. And you saw before I typed in a name and nothing happened. But now, if I go into the quick search, if I type in Tiger or just Ty even, and hit space, boom. Any image that has that keyword is going to pop up. So I typed it in for the team pictures. And you can see any images that feature Tiger Campbell. Here he is in all his glory. There. Easy for me to track down and find. This is immensely helpful for me. Because what if a client says, hey, John, we saw that photo you took at this place and you featured Tiger Campbell. Do you think you could share some of those with us? Now, instead of having to cull through thousands upon thousands of images, I can just go in and type in his name. I'll do the same thing for Brian. This is Brian Bowen.
So you do this for every player on every team?
For the most part, anything especially that I upload.
I see where he paused. I know how he paused with that. That kid is on the end of the bench. Jimmy Smith Johnson, he don't know who you are. He might not be able to look you up.
Get that.
His mom's going to be calling, do you have pictures of Jim? No.
Rest assured that
he's in group.
Xavier Henderson definitely has his name keyword in all of his.
He's not going to end up in group shot.
Jeff Henderson?
Team shot.
Maybe not.
I'll be in team shot. I'm okay. I'm in the back. I get it.
So you better hope.
I'm not going to Kentucky.
So, small tip, but it has huge impact in the way that you're able to kind of cycle through images and search through. And again, imagine if I have thousands and thousands of images. This is one great way to be able to organize them and find them.
Now, for those of us who have trouble organizing sometimes, would you have any, say, tips? Because usually what happens is you get to the end of the day and you go, oh, I got to go through and add all this in, and then you don't. Is there a way to, while you're doing anything in the process, to sort of create this?
Absolutely. Again, I'm glad you asked. So, upon import, this is what the import screen looks like in Photo Mechanic. They call it ingest.
That's
I
kind
pressed
of weird.
Command G to get in there. So if I'm going to ingest images, this is where I go. And so any memory cards I have plugged into my computer will appear here. I would click there and tell it where to be saved here. We'll go through this stuff a little bit more in detail in another episode. But I can come into the IPTC stationary pad right from here and
update.
IPTC. What does that mean, Jeff?
Stands for International Press Telecommunications Council. So from now on, we need you to say that all together every time you say IPTC. Okay, continue.
Jeff, I was just testing you. I was glad you finally
you already knew what that was?
Duh, of course I knew what that was.
You're on the mail list. You get the update every week.
I'm actually on the council, Jeff. Sheesh.
My bad. I'm just learning, John.
So anyway, upon ingesting or importing your files, you can do this right from here. So right from the beginning. The challenge with this, though, is that if you know that you have several photos featuring different players, you might not be able to put all their names in.
Gotcha.
So for something like that, you probably want to wait until after they're ingested, and then you do that part later. But anything that's generic, right? So if you have anything that's generic, if the shoot has to do with sports or the Hall of Fame or Nike, you can put that in there for all of them. Right? They were all taken in the same place, so I have them all in Springfield, similar event. So that stuff, I put stuff in there that applies to every single image without question.
So crazier question. This is one slightly larger, then even super larger. If you're just in your computer and say you're in, what is this called when you're looking in Finder, can you then go through and look and find things based on the metadata you've added?
That's a good question. That's a Mac OS question. I'm not sure whether or not the Mac OS does that, but you know what?
Because my bigger question would be,
asked.
If you actually had things on the internet and you search through your metadata, would that pop up?
Oh, that's true. On the internet, yes. Anything that's already there, so my images will pop up that way if you Google them.
So it's just like having a hashtag or something. You've already added it in, and if you Google that list and if you put it up there,
that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Good to know.
So if I take this and let's say I reveal it in the Finder.
Thank you, International Press Telecommunications Council.
When I typed in Tiger Campbell's name, hey, what do you know? The images I just labeled are actually popping up on my Mac in the Finder. So this actually makes it better for your entire system.
See? You didn't even know that. Look, I bring something to the show. I bring something to the episode.
Absolutely.
That's because when I do stuff, I don't really organize anything, and we'll show that in the episode.
Now you have multiple reasons to do it.
I do. I know. I don't want people stealing my work. Just run away with it. I ain't saying you need to snitch. I just want to cut. That's all I'm saying. just saying.
Well, that's another episode of Glad You Asked. If you have any questions about organizing your files or managing IPTC, aka International Press Telecommunications Council.
He's on the council now. Remember, people, you can email him at his ITPC address. I'm sure you can contact him and say, yo, I know John Lopez. Yo, hook me up with some of that IPTC merchandise.
Exactly. Maybe they'll send you a t-shirt. We'll see. You got another secret handshake. But hit us up if you have any questions, you want to learn more about this, hit us up at yo@gladyouasked.today.
Check the notes below. Thank you very much. See you next episode.